What's up, guys? I hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, we will be looking at exercise 22 of our Python exercise tutorial series. And with that, let's get to it. Before we actually begin though, guys, I should mention that my side, like at the moment, at the time of recording, which is now, there is quite a severe storm that's taking place, as we speak. So if you do happen to hear any sounds or the pattering of rain or anything of that sort, I should tell you that it's because of the storm. So coming back to the main point of this video, in this specific exercise, we will be looking at, if-else statements in Python, simple problems, and very fun, very interesting. So we'll code them along together and we'll have a look at it after I type out the prompt. So we'll speak then. Okay, we have exercise 22. In this exercise, you will create a program that reads in a letter of the alphabet from the user. If the user enters A, E, I, O, or U, then your program should display a message indicating that the entered letter is a vowel. If the user enters Y, then your program should display a message indicating that Y is sometimes a vowel and sometimes it is a consonant. Otherwise, your program should display a message indicating that the letter is a consonant. Okay, guys, so looking at this problem, we see they want us to have a Python program that has the ability, using some decision making, to make the user aware if the letter that they have entered is a vowel or a consonant. And so using some if-else statements will be required to single out these letters A, E, I, O, U, and also Y. And using the appropriate display message, we should cater for those values, we'll call it, okay, for those letters. So let's begin. I will begin by creating an input prompt. I'll call it letter and it will store in our input of the letter from the alphabet. So let's say, please enter a letter of the alphabet. That's good. Now, using some if-else statements, let's proceed to cater for the different conditions. So the first thing they tell us is that if the user enters A, E, I, O, or U, okay, so there are several conditions here that are all grouped into one. So let's cater for one at a time. Essentially, if, let's begin, letter is equals to A, that's the first condition. Or, all right, so let's talk a bit about this. This, or is what we call a logical operator in Python. Okay, so there's actually three that exist: not, or, and. All right, these are the three logical operators. Essentially, they are used to create complex conditions. They allow us to basically do condition chaining, right? Allows us to link several conditions to form a single complex conditions. And the smaller conditions are referred to as sub-conditions, and the entire condition is referred to as a complex condition. So, not to worry about that. That's just theoretical explanations. When we have a look at this particular operator in this example, it will make much more sense when we have a look at it. So, let's continue with the conditions for now. A, E. So, what I'll do to save time is I will copy this and we can just paste that there. So, if letter is equals to A, or letter is equals to E, or letter is equals to, let's change this to I. Okay, moving on. A, E, I, O, U. That's good. So, think about it, right? I will expand this for you. So, let's have a look at this. We have one condition. So, one thing that I will mention to you is in Python, whenever you are dealing with conditions, be it in the if statement, the while loop, the for loop, anything, your else clause, your elif, or and so on. Whenever you are dealing with a condition, it is very good Python practice to enclose that condition in a pair of parentheses, right? Brackets. So as we've done here, we could have just left this as a blatantly just standalone if letter is equals to A or letter is equals to E and so on. But oftentimes what tends to happen is the condition can at times get sort of, I would say, misinterpreted by Python, and sometimes that does lead to an error in the output, right? Mostly because there's been a lack of clarity or conciseness in the way in which we structure our conditions. So this is why it is very good practice, and I also recommend that you do it, to enclose your conditions. Whenever you have a condition, simply place a pair of parentheses around it, and automatically it will make much more sense to you and to Python itself, to our compiler. Okay, I do hope that makes sense. Now, again, think about this now. We have 5 sub conditions here. Okay, and now what will make this even better is if we enclose all 5 sub conditions in one pair of parentheses. So automatically that makes the code much more, I would say, logical. Essentially because within this large parenthesis, this is the main condition, the main complex condition. You can see the parenthesis highlighted. It's the outermost parenthesis. So within that complex condition, we have 5 smaller conditions, or what we call sub-conditions. Okay, and the way in which the OR operator works is that if any one of these smaller conditions evaluate to true, then the entire complex condition will evaluate to true. So that's the way OR works. OR requires just one of the sub-conditions to evaluate to true for the entire condition to become true. So I do hope that makes sense to you. And with that, let's continue our program. So we've catered for A, E, I, O, and U. And they told us that if the letter happens to be one of these 5, the program should display a message indicating that the entered letter is a vowel. So let's do that. In a simple print statement, I'll tell the user print This letter is a vowel. Now it's time for the else. They said if the user enters Y, then your program should display a message indicating that Y is sometimes a vowel and sometimes it is a consonant. So what we'll do here is instead of else, we need to utilize the elif. Elif is basically an else if. So elif letter is equals to Y. Let's do a print. And notice again, before we actually continue with the print, see, even though this is a simple single condition, I've enclosed it in parentheses. Reason being, it's good coding practice, it's easier for me and you to understand, as well as it gives clarity and conciseness in our Python code. So that's good. Let's do a print. This letter is sometimes a vowel and sometimes it is a consonant. That's good. And the final one will be the else clause or statement, whatever you want to call it. And the thing is, they told us this is kind of like the default message that will be displayed to the user, right? It falls within the else clause. We should tell the user that the letter that they've entered is a consonant. So let's do this. Print this letter is a consonant. And with that, we seem to have effectively catered for all the possible decisions or conditions or events that can occur according to the scenario. So let's proceed to run the script, guys, and we'll enter some dummy input to make sure that the program works. Please enter a letter of the alphabet. So let's do a maybe an A or maybe an E. And it tells me this letter is a vowel. And let's run the program again. This time let's enter Y. This letter is sometimes a vowel and sometimes it is a consonant. Consonant. Okay, last time. This time let's enter a consonant. So maybe a B. Excellent. This letter is a consonant. And with that, guys, we've effectively and efficiently and successfully completed exercise 22 in our Python exercise tutorial series. I do hope that you found this lecture or tutorial interesting and that you have some experience or more insight into the Python programming language. With that, good luck with your work and I'll see you in the next YouTube video.